Yo, how's it going, guys? It's the Crafter here, and welcome to a tutorial video on how to get the Zenith in the new 1.4 update of Terraria. I hope you guys are doing well, and I really hope you like this video. It's just a little tutorial video on how to get the Zenith, which is one of the hardest weapons to find in this game. It takes quite a bit of materials, but it's not, well, it's really worth it though. In the end, it's really worth it. Like, look at this. This is just insane. So yeah, I think we'll just jump straight into it. So the first weapon that you are going to need to build the Zenith is the copper short sword, which is the easiest weapon to find in all of the materials that you're going to need. So basically, the copper short sword spawns as you spawn a new world, or as you create a new world, you'll automatically get a copper short sword. So the second weapon you are going to need is the Starfury, which you can only find in Sky Islands, which is not really hard to get to. I mean, if you're just starting out, yeah, it's going to be hard, but as you progress in the game, it's not hard to get to. All you need is get yourself a gravitational potion in one of the chests in the cave, and you can just use that to find yourself a Sky Island, like this one over here. Thirdly, and probably the hardest materials or sword you are going to need is the Enchanted Sword, which you can only find in Enchanted Sword shrines, which has a really low spawn rate in your world. So if you don't find a Enchanted Sword shrine in your world, you are going to have to create a new world or a couple new worlds, depends on how your luck is. But yeah, that is basically what you need. It basically looks like one of these holes that you dig in the ground. I think it will only be 1 block wide, and all you have to do is you just have to dig straight down like this, and you'll find the sword shrine. So yeah, let's just move on to the fourth one. So the fourth sword that you're going to need is the Beekeeper, that can only spawn from destroying the queen bee, which you can find in the jungle in one of our hives. So let me just go on the map here and I can show you. Where's it? Oh. So yeah, all you have to do is you have to explore the jungle and try and find one of the beehives, and you just dig yourself in there. You buff up and you destroy it. You are maybe going to have to defeat her a couple of times because it only has a chance of dropping. It's not a 100% guarantee. So yeah, if you got it first try, then great. Okay, so that was the easy swords ticked off the list. Now let's get into the harder ones. So the fifth and probably one of the hardest weapons to find is going to be the Terrablade, which you can only be crafted if you have the right materials. So crafting the Terrablade is going to need quite a few of materials. The first one that you're going to need is the Lightsbane, which is quite easy to find. You just have to defeat one of the pre-hard mode bosses, like say for example Eye of Cthulhu or the Eater of Worlds. The Eater of Worlds is better because he drops a lot more Demonite, and that's what you're going to need for building the Lightsbane. So once you've got that, the Lightsbane, just like this one over here, you are going to need the Meowmere, which you can only find in dungeons after defeating Skeletron. All you need to do after defeating Skeletron is go down the dungeon, try and find a golden key to open one of the golden locked chests, and they would contain the Meowmere. So the third weapon that you're going to need for the Terrablade is the fiery greatsword, that you can only get from crafting with hellstone bars, which you can find in the underworld. The fourth weapon you are going to need is the blade of grass, which you can craft by combining jungle spores and stingers together. 12 jungle spores and 12 stingers. So combining all of those swords together, this will give you the Knight's Edge, which is one of the components that you need for the Terrablade. So after crafting the Knight's Edge, the next thing that you want to do is get yourself an Excalibur, which can only be created after defeating one of the mech bosses in hard mode. The way you craft the Excalibur is combining the hollowed bars that you get from the mech bosses at a mithril anvil. Okay, so after getting the Excalibur and the Knight's Edge, you are going to want to get yourself 2 broken hero swords, which you can only find in a solar eclipse. So getting 2 broken hero swords, you have to defeat Mothron that only has a chance to drop a broken hero sword. Once you've gotten yourself 2 broken hero swords, you combine each broken hero sword with the Excalibur and one with the Knight's Edge, which will grant you the true Excalibur and the true Knight's Edge, which you then combine to make yourself the Terrablade. So after creating the Terrablade, the next weapon that you're going to need is the Seedler, which can only drop from Plantera. If you want to defeat Plantera, you're going to have to find one of her Plantera bulbs, which you can only find after defeating all 3 make bosses. So this is an example of how the Plantera bulb looks. The next weapon that you're going to need is a Horseman's blade that can only be dropped from a Horseman in a Halloween event. If you want to spawn a Halloween event, you are going to need the Pumpkin Moon Medallion. The next weapon that you're going to need is the Influx Waver, which can only be dropped from the Martian sources in a Martian event. If you want to spawn a Martian event, you are going to have to build a little platform in space and wait for a Martian probe to appear, which can then scan you and it will spawn the Martian event. The last 2 weapons that you are going to need is a Star Wrath and a Meowmere that can only be dropped from the Moon Lord. They both have quite a low drop rate from the Moon Lord, which makes them one of the most difficult weapons to find. So yeah guys, that's all the weapons that you're going to need to be able to craft the Zenith. I really hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial video and I hope you guys liked it. And if you did, please hit that subscribe button and like this video. Comment if I missed anything, and yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.